So just a little video for today. I ain't in the best of moods today. And the reason I want to share that with y'all is because I want y'all to understand and know, I make videos, yeah. I share videos on how to keep your mindset right, how to stay positive, how to move in the right direction. And I'm gonna be real, sometimes the advice I give don't even be the best advice, I guess, for you. My advice is all about staying in your lane, mind your business, not being worried about what other people got going on, stacking your bread, staying focused on a long-term goal. But let me share with you the other side of staying focused on long-term goals and stuff like that. I'm a normal person just like everybody else who watch these videos, just like everybody else in the world. There are days, there are times when I'm not feeling the best. There are days when I'm in funks, I'm in bad moods. My temper and my attitude is kind of all over the place. Today is one of those days. Today is one of those days I don't feel like being bothered. Today is one of those days where I have doubts. I second guess myself sometimes. I second guess the people around me. A way to cope with this, I wouldn't even say cope. I would say a way that I get through it. I used to take walks. I go for bike rides. I go to the lake. I go to the park and sit outside. Just spend some time by myself. Sometimes I don't like being on my phone. Simplicity is the best way to keep your peace. Keeping life as simple as possible is the best way to move and go about things. But sometimes that don't even work. But I'm just here to share this video to let you know you're not alone. You ain't the only person going through it. So, I don't know if that helps you feel better about your situation, but I'm just letting you know that even on this side, the image and the perception of everything seeming like it's cool, that it's vibing, that it's chill, it ain't like that over here. I promise you it isn't. At least not every day. There are some days where I'm in a funk, I'm in a mood. Man, I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day at work, and she told me the best answer is to pray. I'm gonna be real with y'all from some of these videos, y'all. I really don't believe in prayer. I grew up as a kid in the church and stuff like that, and there were pockets where I would pray. There was things that I but I don't think life is meant to be easy. Then on top of that, life is very hard. That's why I say it's important not to bring people in your life or have people around you that make your life more difficult than what it is. Especially if you invite them into your personal life. Especially if you invite them into a space where it's just you and you done got yourself going. It's detrimental to your peace. And I think sometimes with me, I kind of find myself or think of myself as an introvert. I don't really like being around a lot of people. I've been this way since I was a kid. So a lot of the things I have to do, a lot of things I want to accomplish, I have to be around people. I got to place myself around others to get the job done. That stuff be killing me. That stuff be blowing me sometimes. I just got so many thoughts and questions for today. One of my questions is to y'all, if y'all do have an answer to this, does prayer really work? I really need to know an answer. If somebody got the answer to that, please leave it in the comment section. Let me know. Because I hear that a lot of people just pray. But I think growing up for me, you know how many times you pray for a situation to change and it don't change? Excuse me, I brush my teeth. So. Man, I had this thought. I'm trying to get to this certain level of my life. And it's the only reason that's keeping me like pushing, keeping it going, because I want to get to a point where, one, I can get up out the city. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to get out of the city again. I'm not liking the city. I don't like the way people carry themselves. And it ain't because of them, it's just how the city is set up. It's like designed like that to me. Like, you gotta always put your thoughts and feelings last to go get some money, to go get your, you know what I'm saying, a complete task throughout the day. And it's like, people losing their jobs and stuff now. Things are getting a little bit harder. It has destroyed the fast-paced city life. It destroys the trust factor. Like, a lot of people can't trust each other no more because people are just taking advantage of their opportunity and situation. And sometimes you have to step and walk over others to get there. And it's like, sometimes because that happens, you accidentally but intentionally do what you got to do to get things done. And I was sharing this with one of my friends the other day, how I learned to keep life simple, keep everything at minimum. I don't do too much, and it has kept everything like free flowing, kept things very easy in my life. And I think the hardest thing for me is adapting to others being around me. But I get so like moody, I get like pissed off when trying to, basically I'm having to sacrifice myself to be around others. So because like I don't know how to do that yet, or I did it at one point, it's gotta be a balance of everything. I did it at one point, so now it's like, I would say like a lot of things has taken like the love and passion and desire out of a lot of things. It ain't easy trying to succeed, yo. I'm sharing like different aspects from like things I think about. So if I'm jumping all over the place and you can't follow it, my bad. I started off with just saying like how does prayer even work? And what I mean by that is these are the different things that you face mentally going out here in the world trying to achieve success. Man, you gotta put everything at a minimum. Like, I done removed emotions and feelings so much. I don't really feel a lot of stuff in here when it comes to like people expressing their side. I don't care. Like, this is the side I'm sharing with y'all outside of the videos and stuff I be sharing on how people to move forward. But like the other side is, it ain't a good feeling to always push people to the side. It ain't always a good feeling to go after what you want because you have to sacrifice a lot of things. And it's the thing about succeeding. You're gonna have to sacrifice. And I'm talking about some major sacrifice. Sacrifice comes from the places where you're comfortable. Sacrifice comes from the places where you are used to things operating in a certain flow or manner on how they operate. Like, sacrifice comes from not being around friends and family as much as you want. The sacrifice, I think, for me is, one, not being around friends and family as much as I want because I see the big picture. What I'm trying to do is get to this goal. I'm trying to get to this number. And once it gets there, I bring everybody back in who was supposed to be around me. So at times, I don't say much. I just look around and I analyze and see how people operate and maneuver themselves. But also, you got to be aware and be careful of people who just keep you in their back pocket just in case, you know, you elevate, just in case you move to the next level. It's a whole lot of things that you got to be aware of out here. And I don't look like it. I don't carry myself a certain way. But it's a lot of things I learned from just hanging around certain groups of people. It's a lot of things I learned from being outside. Like, just because you're around those groups of people, you just often or sometimes catch yourself being in these places and situations with other people. You just like, but the only way to learn these lessons is to go through it. And that's the part where after you go through certain lessons when trying to elevate and grow in life, you have to take some time off to be by yourself. I feel like I'm just in rest. This season is my season of rest. Like, I'm just staying out the way, not being too much on the scene with everything. You know, it's a lot of people who watch these videos. Nobody has no idea what city, what state I'm in. It's a handful of people that know, the ones I tell. But a lot of people don't even know what's going on. I get a lot of people try to, some people might try to tell you how to carry yourself, how to maneuver, how to move for today. But you got to understand, if you're looking at a bigger picture on where you want to go in life, you have to put your ego to the side. You got to put your pride to the side. Sometimes the places where people normally would have feelings and emotions, they may be upset, sad, crying, tears, doubt. You got to be stone cold. You got to be a little cold hearted. You got to just be tough out here to get to where you want to go. Because being a leader, if you're a person leading the pack, if you're a person leading the family, a group of friends, if you're a person leading anywhere, everybody's looking to you for the advice. Everybody's looking to you for the answers on what to do and what not to do. So there are pockets where you're not able to express yourself in a certain manner, because if people look at you as the thing as he ain't weak, she not weak, if you show or expose that side to others, sometimes it can backfire, man. Ask me how I know. I learned this from experiences growing up. So there are pockets, there are times where people be like, bro, it's all right, it's okay. And I get it though. Some people ain't never been in certain situations, circumstances that some of us have been in. But it's like, some of us have never been in circumstances, situations that others have been in. And I get it, but these certain extremes that some people have been through, it wire your mind and your brain to a whole nother level, to where it's like, you know what you're capable of, but it's like you have to rewire yourself to be around certain groups, certain classes of people who aren't from that same, like, I don't really know how to explain that, but it's like, man, that's why I never really knock anybody's struggle. Everybody's struggle is their struggle. What you go through was difficult for you. What I went through is difficult for me. But I know for a fact there are some things, some of you, that you went through, I might not have been able to survive that or even mentally handle that. But it's on the same side over here that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, also, there are just reasoning and understanding. Like, I've learned so much just from experiences. Mind your business. I've learned for so many experiences. Mind your business. Stay out the way. Take your earnings and go home. Like, literally just mind your business. I got this question asked me the other day. If these are your friends, these are your best friends, how come you don't never ask them what's going on with them? It ain't my business to ask them that stuff. If they propose it, if they you know what I'm saying, if they present it to me, hey, this is going on, cool, we can talk about it. But I don't ask people about their personals. And sometimes it's hard to undo some ways you think. But this is why I say, like, I go back to the beginning of this video when I was asking, like, about prayer and things like that. Because there are pockets where Some of us do need some prayer. Some of us need some type of peace. Some of us need some form of guidance, you know? And I think the simplest thing for me, the simplest way of living for me, I just didn't like certain things that happened growing up. So sometimes you take like matters into your own hands. You try to handle situations to the best of your ability or to what you feel makes you feel better. And that ain't the right way. This city life crazy. This city life different, y'all. Like, there was this place I lived at one point where it was just so calm, so peaceful, so chill. And I ended up losing it just from being around the wrong groups of people. Like, it gets to a point where if you allow somebody to strip your peace, your joy away from you, it's just a crazy world out here. Like, there are some times where like some things can happen to you and people make it seem so bad and so crazy about how they treated you. And then they flip it and spin it and make it seem like I did that to you because that's how I was feeling, but it's your fault that it happened to you. And that's the thing you gotta understand. This world is based on self-accountability. This world is based on it's your fault. Like, anything in this world that happened is your fault. That's just how it go. So because it's gonna be your fault, make sure it's your fault that you succeed. Make sure it's your fault that you win. Make sure it's your fault that you prosper, you thrive. And you gotta also understand and know that once you start moving and elevating in life, you gotta be more sharp. You gotta be mentally sharp. You gotta be strong. You gotta be aware. Everything up here gotta elevate. Everything up here gotta increase. Everything up here gotta go up. But because this right here, you can overthink. I overthink from time to time. I use my thoughts way more than what I should sometimes. But because you start using your thought process, you start carrying yourself a certain way. You gotta be ready for whatever comes with the lifestyle. You gotta be ready for whatever comes with the business, the career path, the job that you're choosing. So you gotta build yourself up mentally. You gotta build yourself up physically. You know, you gotta get strong out here. You gotta prep yourself for everything. And it's just more so about learning how to be at peace with yourself while choosing the right places out here to enjoy yourself. But also just stay prepared. Stay aware. You know. I read this book one time. It was saying how you aren't defined as a person because of how you carry yourself away from everything, but how you carry yourself once you're around everybody. I want to say it's Ralph Waldo Emerson's, it's a book I read a while ago. It's about how to carry yourself around people, and that's the true test of if you have truly changed or if you really. It's all about balance. It's almost like it's too much or too unhealthy to be around everybody, but it's also unhealthy just to be by yourself every day, all day. You gotta learn how to find that balance for yourself. And that's the balance that I think that's the balance that I'm looking for. I think that's the balance that I'm looking for. What's the balance that you're looking for? Like, what balance are you looking for in your life? Like, what about your life isn't working out? What about your life that you don't like? It's crazy. Like, there are some things out here in this world that you really want to change about yourself. But because of circumstances, situations, financial reasons, whatever the case may be, you can't make those changes yet. And so thinking about what you can and can't change at a moment where you can't do it, man, that'll drive you crazy. That'll drive you crazy. You gotta stay locked in out here. Like, this long-term thing is no joke. This long-term thing is no joke. Like, hey, some days you are not gonna feel it. There are some days you don't wanna be around. Like, man, let me explain to you. Long-term wise, I'm focused on getting my life to where I want it to be. But the short-term thoughts and effects is, I ain't feeling it today. But I gotta go to work and talk to people. I gotta go to work and be around people I really don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different thoughts and feelings. So if you give in to what you feel temporarily, you'll mess yourself up for the long term. But sometimes this is the other side of it. When you so locked in on the long term and moving towards the long term, when you get around people, you're not considering what they saying, you're not focused on what they doing, you're not worried about what people saying around you, you just straight tunnel vision on where you want to go. You're going to be looked at as an asshole. You're going to be looked at as you selfish. You're going to be looked at as like you don't care. Man, listen. This stuff is hard out here. No matter what you do in life, people going to say something. That's why you got to go get yours. Stay up out the way. Get yours, stay up out the way. I'm telling you. This life ain't no joke right here. This ain't no joke. Business world, entrepreneurship, leadership, anything that requires you to stay composed so others can continue to do what they do, man, you gotta figure out a way to stay locked in, stay composed, because it's real out here. And that's the thing about it, like, the more harsher, crazy experiences you went through in life, it kind of separates you from others who haven't went through it yet, or they're never gonna go through it. And it's just like, people tell you to calm down, you tripping, you over exaggerating stuff, and it's like, no, you're not. You see what people are capable of. When they're at their lowest. You know what you can do when you're at your lowest. But it's that pocket in that dark space is where you find yourself. Where you find out what you made of. I'll tell you some incidences with me growing up. I used to be the person that never wanted to like fight, no altercations, no nothing. But it gets to them points where you're back against the wall, what you gonna do? You be amazed at what you can do when it's time to really go. Right? You be amazed at what you can do out here when it's time to really put your head down and get going. That's that pocket right there where people avoid it. That's that pocket right there where people really kind of get nervous, kind of get scared. Don't get scared of that spot. And really don't even think about it. Because if you're not there, don't trip. If you're not there yet, don't even worry about it. But when that opportunity presents itself, and notice I said opportunity, it's gonna show you what you made of, but it's gonna make you better. Like, really don't curl up into a ball and fold off of that. You better show these people out here you really a dog with it. And you ain't gotta show them you a dog. It's just how you carry yourself. You just know, like, nah, we ain't losing. You might take a few hits, some bumps, some bruises along the way, but the long term, it's about winning. My whole goal is to keep going till I hit my number. And once I get to where I'm supposed to get to, I really don't want a phone. I ain't gonna have a phone once I get to where I'm supposed to get to. No social media. People be talking about, bro, you tripping? You go, man, not tripping. There was a point in time we didn't have phones and social media. I know that. I was in college without a cell phone. When people got in contact with me, that's when they got in contact with me. So now it's like I don't be attached to this phone. I don't like the fact that everybody can be in contact with me 24/7. People get mad at you for not answering your phone, not responding. Man, it's mine. Get upset, think something wrong with you because you don't want to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta be around somebody 24/7. You don't have to be talking to somebody 24/7. That's why you gotta figure out how to keep your peace. And once you find it, don't give it up. Not even a little bit. I'm telling you, this world is crazy out here. It's some stuff going on out here. I used to tell my dad, like, yo, I think I got exposed to life a little too much growing up. At 17 years old, I was traveling all over the country playing college ball. You see some man live behind like them closed doors with the athletes, with girls, with friends, with the law system. Like, it's a whole bunch of the things that I'm gonna say this right here. The things that you are accustomed to in your world, don't be surprised when something come in a different light once you leave your door. Because what you are accustomed to in your world, notice there are 9 billion people in this world. So your world is your world. Everybody else created their own world on how they survive and how they move, maneuver, and things like that. All right, this ain't no joke out here, man. Like, I done went off on tangents. I done explained different sides and everything, but like, listen. I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to know, like, does prayer really work? So because I'm asking, does prayer really work? The questions I've been asking, or the things I've been saying throughout this video, these are the things I read and write about. These are the things I pray about. But it's like, there are no answers. This is why, like, sometimes I get at the point, like, what are we praying for and who are we praying to? Now, this is a different, like, perspective on videos. This isn't the, man, keep your mind right, keep your head. Like, people like those videos, but I need to share the other side with y'all. For everything that's good, there was once a dark side. For every saint, he used to be a sinner. For every sinner, he just ain't found himself yet. Like, and then a lot of lifestyles and things that some of us have chose, or some of us that we went through in our past, is like, the quicker you find yourself, the quicker you know yourself, the faster you can save yourself.